to join me on the journey back on track. So, welcome everyone. I can't believe that it is already day 4 or session 4 of the Back on Track. In case we haven't met yet, my name is Barbara and I support people living and working abroad to achieve their goals while maintaining their well being. Because as expats, we tend to prioritize work and really overdo it and really not have boundaries, and then we end up feeling tired, overwhelmed, and not really having energy to do anything. And I don't know how about you, but for me that's not the life why I moved abroad. I moved abroad to have a better life, to level up my life, my career, and my experience, and everything. So if you feel like you are behind, you would like to make a change in your life, but you kind of always get stuck and you just come back to to this cycle, then you're on the right place, because I have created this project Back on Track for anyone, for any expat who wants to get back on track and achieve their goals and get back on track before New Year. So if that's you, welcome. Just to give you some background about what this project is about, I am trying to get back on track, or I am on the journey to get back on track this month, and I am bringing you along with me, and I am also providing you with all the tools that I am also adding to my life or that I'm already using. And so I am sharing the journey, getting back on track with you. And you can either just listen and perhaps save some tips, or perhaps you also can join me. And if that is the reason why you are here, or maybe you are here for the first time but you're open to it, then uh thank you for your support, and let's support each other. So it's not only about you keeping me accountable, because I'm doing these lives from Mondays to Fridays for the next 3 weeks, but it's also for you. So feel free to message me how you are doing, how are you around this goal setting. And yesterday we talked about stoppers, these obstacles in your life that are just making it hard to achieve your goals. These obstacles can be something at work, like a person, or these obstacles can be internal, like your mindset, or it can be how your body is actually prepared, whether it feels tired or overwhelmed, and feeling like nothing to do, or there might be totally different stopper for you, like for example waiting for finding a better accommodation, or waiting to finally achieve this career advancement, this promotion, this getting this new job, before actually being able to have the life under control. And so in previous days we talked about where we are. We talked about we also set the goals, and um, we talked about these stoppers, and you're more than welcome to also check the tools that we used previous days. You have the link in the description. I can also add it to the comments here. So 1 second, I'll actually do it straight away. And so these are the tools that we used previous days. Today we are going to continue talking about stress management, and today we are more focused on this tool that I want to provide you, a tool that you can use anytime in a stressful, overwhelming situation, and that will help you to create this space for you, and to create this broader perspective on things, and also to give you this space and this breather to then actually respond to the situation and to take care of yourself, because as I said, we want to achieve goals, but we also want to maintain well-being. So I actually I always want to bring you some theory, but also I also want to bring you some tools, and I don't want to overwhelm you, so we have like one tool per day. Let's make it much more shorter on theory today, and then more focus on the tool. What I want to share with you is what would happen to me on the way home. I was rushing to get home really quickly, and so my speed was quite high. I was walking, but time to times I ran for a bit, um, to get home sooner, because that's what I needed in that moment. And I had a feeling after like a while that somebody is following me, because there was a person behind me who had like same speed, and that was unusual speed, and so whenever I would like run for a while, the person would still be behind me. And so in that moment, I actually stopped breathing, and my whole body was just ready for this uh, fight or flight mode. So was ready to address this stressful situation with running for my life. And when there is a stressful situation for you, like for example, giving a presentation, you might have like this need to do something, like either you might freeze and be not be able to do anything, or you might have this urgency to call in sick so that you can avoid it. And so in my situation, what I noticed is that I was on my focus to get home as like even even faster than I actually needed. And after like a while, after like 5 minutes, I actually noticed that I wasn't breathing at all, and that I was really like my body was frozen. So like even though I was moving, uh, my tummy was really tense, and like my throat was really tensed. And so what I did was that I took breather, just like deep breathing in, breathing out. And I have background in mindfulness, so I was like, okay, all right, what do I need right now? What's happening in my body? And I started to be more aware of what my body is actually telling me. And so I was able to calm myself down, to calm my nervous system down, and to reflect on that. Now, this is really intense story, and you don't really come into these every day, but your body doesn't really see a difference between a stressor. So the body is just, and your brain is trying to just like, once your brain gets this information that there might be a threat, your brain is ready to handle and to and to cope with that in a way that is able to cope in the moment. And so it doesn't matter whether it is a presentation, it doesn't matter whether it is like a communication with your manager, it doesn't matter whether it is interview. um, what you need is to create a space for you. And now, I know that it is really hard to say yeah and like to pause and breathe, but like when you are in that situation, you don't realize that you are not really present. And I sometimes don't realize that I'm not present at all, and that I'm actually not aware of what is happening around me consciously, or like within me consciously. But the idea behind the session today is to help you with a tool, with a mindfulness tool, to help you to create this awareness of you in that moment, and to ground you, to to create a space for you, a space that is always available for you. And we are going to do it through an anchor. An anchor is a safe, neutral space, and you might have already heard about this when, for example, there are so many tips around breathing, and that when you are stressed, you probably heard that you should focus on your breath. However, being with your breath is not comfortable for everyone. So therefore, and for example, I have asthma. So for me, being with my breath is not always a thing that would ground me, that would root me, and that would help me to provide a space for me in that moment, so that I can then handle from that, so that I can then calm my mind and calm my body, calm myself in the whole situation. So the invitation today for you is to explore different types of how to manage your stress. I'm going to share with you one through mindfulness, through grounding practice. That this practice, you can practice it anytime, and like you can also use that. You don't need my guidance for it. And you can just get back to you, and to just like ground yourself. And so I'm going to guide you through a practice today, so that you have an idea, or like you know um, yeah, an idea how you can actually do it. And yeah, you can then practice it um, throughout the weekend. It's not always to think of this tool when you feel stressed. It's actually easier to maybe create a routine of it, to come back to your to you every day, perhaps before the sleep, so then it is easier for you when a stressful situation is present to um, to get back to the space. So with the space, I mean, I'm going to guide you through different anchors, like for example, breath, as I already said, but also through feet on your on the ground, hands, and also outside of the body in a form of sounds. But don't worry, I'm going to guide you through it. And the invitation is to join me today if you feel like doing it. If not, then that's totally fine. And perhaps think of what you could do actually for you to support yourself in this moment. So I'm going to just adapt here a microphone a little better, so that it is easier for you to listen to me and to not hear as much echo as this room is giving me. And so the invitation is to find a comfortable position. You can be sitting, you can be standing, you can be lying down. I'm going to stay sitting. And you just like not like not trying to have a certain posture or like sitting in the perfect possible way, but simply just being, perhaps straightening your back, softening your front, and perhaps looking around you and noticing the environment around you, perhaps noticing the colors, shapes, perhaps finding three objects with color of blue. And then whenever you're ready, either lowering your gaze and perhaps finding a focus point 1 meter in front of you and just looking there down, or closing your eyes fully if that's comfortable for you in this moment, and perhaps taking one intentional deeper breather, like breathing in and then out if that's comfortable for you. And then coming back to your own natural rhythm. And so now becoming aware of any bodily sensations in your body. As you are sitting, standing, lying down here, having both feet on the ground, perhaps noticing the gravity if sitting or lying down, perhaps noticing the touch points if sitting with the chair, if lying down with the bed or yoga mat or with the ground. Becoming aware of your hands and where they are. And so we are going to observe or explore different anchors, different grounding places in our body. And so this practice is going to be for about 7 minutes, 7 minutes. And so whenever you're ready, placing your attention on your feet. So becoming aware of your feet, becoming aware of your feet on the ground. Perhaps noticing the contact point with the socks or shoes or the ground. And perhaps becoming aware of this grounding that's happening there between the feet and the ground. Perhaps like rooting yourself into the ground. And not trying to change anything or having it a certain way, not trying to, feeling something or sensing something a certain way, but simply being with what is right now and just being curious and getting to know your feet. We don't really investigate our feet or don't really place the attention there. So just simply being with what is. And noticing the sensations of the feet, perhaps noticing the temperature, cold, warmth, perhaps noticing any tingling or perhaps itching. How do you know that you have your toes? So this is the first place of grounding. Now I'm going to guide you through a second one, which is going to be hands. So letting go of feet and now moving to hands, to the hands on your laps or beside you, and becoming aware of the hands and placing the attention there. Are the palms up or down? Are the hands touching each other? What's the temperature like? Are they warm? Are they cold? Perhaps noticing any vibrations, tingling, or perhaps pulsing. Being aware of the hands from the wrists to palms to fingers to fingertips. And just focusing on your hands. And if your mind wanders, that's totally fine. And you can always bring it back to focusing on hands. As a third place of grounding, third anchor is breath. So I'm going to guide you through breath in a moment, but please only be with the breath if that's comfortable for you. If being with the breath is not comfortable for you, then staying either with hands or with your feet. If being with your breath is comfortable for you, then placing your attention on the breath and perhaps becoming aware of where you can notice the breath most vividly. Is it in your abdomen or in your chest area? Is it in nose or nostrils? Or perhaps in your mouth if your mouth is opened? So noticing where you can notice the breath most vividly without trying to change anything, without trying to have the breath a certain way, but simply being with how it is right now. Perhaps noticing any movements, expanding or falling. Perhaps noticing the tightness or looseness of the clothes. Just noticing the flow of each in-breath, the flow of each out-breath. And if your mind wanders, that's totally fine. It happens to all of us. And so as soon as you notice that your mind went somewhere totally different, gently bringing it back, either being with the breath or with feet or hands if being with the breath is not comfortable for you anymore. And the fourth place of grounding is sounds outside of the body. So letting go of the breath and moving your attention to sounds. The sounds in the room, to the sounds outside of the room. Is there just one sound or perhaps many? Noticing the symphony. If there are no sounds, then just noticing the silence. And so being with the sounds and just noticing the volume, rhythm, pitch. Are there any sounds that are louder or perhaps more quiet? Simply being with the sounds. And so these were the four anchors, 4 places of grounding: feet, hands, breath, sounds. And so now for the rest of the practice, I would like you to ask you to now choose from one of these 4 anchors, so from feet, hands, breath, sounds, and placing your attention there and being with your anchor for a moment. Getting to know it by reading it, perhaps exploring it even more. Knowing that this anchor is always accessible for you, not only throughout this practice, but also throughout your whole day. And you can always come back to it. And so in a moment, you are going to hear a bell, which is going to be a sign of the end of the meditation. And so, from your anchor, expanding your awareness to the whole body, from toes to the head, and becoming aware of your body actually being in the room. So perhaps offering your body some movement to start becoming aware of the area, perhaps giving it a stretch. Whenever you're ready, raising your gaze again, opening your eyes, looking around you, noticing shapes, colors. Perhaps taking one more intentional breath if that's something what you need right now. And I like to say at the end of each or after every meditation to now use the space for you, the time for you, and asking yourself what you need right now. Is it perhaps another stretch? Is it to stand up, sit down? Is it a sip of tea? What is it that you need right now? And offer it to yourself. And so thank you for joining me for this session. Thank you for allowing me to show you this tool, this grounding practice. This is always accessible for you. So whenever you feel like you're stressed, you can always come back to one of these 4 places, or perhaps you can find a space in your body that's perhaps feels more like home. It might be just like the tips of your toes or your toes. It might be your fingers. It might be your breath. Focusing on a breath through the mouth. What is it that feels for you like home? And you can always come back to it. And so whenever you feel stressed, you can just start being with this and calming yourself down. Now, this was almost 10 minutes. You don't have to do it 10 minutes. You can perhaps be with it 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, as long as you need it. And as I said, it is really helpful to practice this on a more frequent basis, perhaps every day, so that once you need it, it is more accessible to you. And yeah, so that was really interesting for me to share with you actually mindfulness tool in this series. Yeah, today I wasn't creating something on Gemini. It was just me and providing you the mindfulness as I know it. And I want you to leave you with your thoughts now. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me either here in the comments or in the DMs. I know that sometimes comments might feel much more easier to share, especially on social media. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, where we will continue and just tackle that sounds so ChatGPT. We will explore another topic, because every day we have one new topic, one new tool, so that we create sustainable progress over the next 3 weeks, so that you get back on track before Christmas, before New Year, so that you can then level up even more your goals. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.